EU finance ministers have finished their meeting in Brussels on Athens' austerity proposal, only to agree to convene again on Sunday. And here's what the Greek proposal looked like. Greece is asking for €53.5 billion and debt restructuring in exchange for imposing austerity measures. They include raising corporate tax to 28% and scrapping tax discounts enjoyed by some Greek islands. Greece also plans to raise the retirement age to 67, and people who stop working earlier will have their pensions cut by 15%. Another measure is to reduce the defence budget by €300 million. And I'm now joined live by RT's Europe correspondent Peter Oliver, who was monitoring the Eurogroup meeting in Brussels. Hello there, Peter. So what is the outcome of the meeting there then?
Well, it was once said by one of the greatest writers of the 20th century, Douglas Adams, "I love deadlines. I like the whooshing sound they make as they fly by." And it seems that the Eurogroup is of a similar thinking, because this deadline that was supposed to be involved today, well, it's gone now. It seemed as they went into the meeting and as they left the meeting, the same thing was still the problem. It wasn't the sums, it wasn't the financing, it wasn't the mathematics. It was the trust, what trust the Eurogroup could place in the Greek government after the torrid time they've both had together. And that was emphasised by the Eurogroup leader, Ursula Dijsselbloem.
There is, of course, a major issue of trust. Can the Greek government be trusted? We've had an in-depth discussion of the Greek proposals. The issue of credibility and trust was discussed, and also, of course, the financial issues involved. But we haven't concluded our discussion, so we will continue at 11. It is still very difficult, but work is still in progress.
Well, there have been spoilers in the works. Most of all, it seems, a document put forward from here in Berlin, which may have suggested perhaps a 5-year Grexit, essentially placing Greece for 5 years on, well, let's face it, the naughty step. Telling them that they have 5 years in order to put their finances together, and then they may be allowed to rejoin the euro. This did not go down well with the Eurogroup leaders, with the finance ministers that were there. There is also a surprise cog in something in the works in Finland. Well, Finland may not be the biggest country in Europe, it may not have the most power in Europe, but it certainly had a big voice tonight, and that's because it has internal problems. Those internal problems majoritively revolving around its own internal coalition and that relationship to the euro and to Europe, and meaning that the anti-euro, the Eurosceptics amongst them, did not want anything to do with this deal. It doesn't matter, though, because if we want a Greek deal, the only 3 countries that really matter, they are Germany, they are France, and they are Italy, because they're the ones that bear the brunt of Greece's debt. They're the ones with the veto vote. So it goes on towards that. What other countries are wanting, though? They're wanting Greece not only to propose cuts, they're wanting the Greek government under Alexis Tsipras to invoke real laws that will impose these things upon the government. As we saw leaders leaving the meeting, I mean, it was not a good meeting, let's face it. This was not the Eurogroup at its finest. Those that had anything to say said, "We made progress." Those that had nothing to say pretended to talk on the phone.
RT's Europe correspondent Peter Oliver live there. Peter, many thanks indeed for that. We appreciate it.